Hey, this is Pastor Dwayne from the Sanctuary Church here in Fort Lauderdale, and I have a question for you. Have you ever seen anybody who kind of lives in an alleyway like this? So I have this friend. His name is Shane Claiborne, and Shane has written a lot of books and things. And one of the stories he told me was he and a friend were going down to get a loaf of bread, and they walked by this alleyway, kind of like this, and they saw this girl in the back, and she walked up to Shane and she said, would you like any service? And he said, no, ma'am, I really don't. I'm a Christian. No, I don't want to. Thank you very much. And walked on by. So it made him feel real nervous, And later they walked back by and they saw her sitting way in the back of the alleyway, way back by one of those dumpsters over there. And they decided to go and see and talk to her. And so they went up and they asked her, they said, listen, you are a child of God and you deserve better than what this is. Can you want to come home with us and we'll give you something good to eat? She started crying. He said they got her home and into the house where it was warm, and she just kept crying. She said, you are one of those Christians, aren't you? And he said we didn't have anything like any anything in the windows or anything like that would say, we are Christians, turn or burn, It wasn't like that. He said, yeah, we're the Christians. And she said, I could tell, I knew you were Christians because you're kind of shiny. I used to shine like that, but I've been on the street for a long time, and you kind of lose that shine. And so Shane told me, he said we fed her, and we let her have a place to stay that night, and later the next day she got up and left. He said about 3 months later, he hears a knock on the door, and he opens the door, and there's this woman standing there, and she's going hey, you don't remember me, do you? And he said, no. And she said, that's because I'm shining. And she told him, she said, I was the person you invited into my house. You invited me into this place, and now I'm off the street. And I got a job. And I just want to tell you, I thank you so much for what you did, because now I'm shining. So today you just need to understand that sometimes we don't know what God is doing in our lives. We don't know how we're supposed to reach out to people that are just in need, because we don't know what God is doing in their life. But we do know one thing, and that is that sometimes you can love on a person and you can start them shining all over again.